Hello everyone! Ayan, dahil
Um,
recorded na, isa-send natin kay Rose itong recording na to para sa evaluation niya. Although, mag-evaluate din tayo, pre-evaluation. Erica, ano nga ulit yung title mo? About
ah,
di ba?
wait lang. Hanapin ko. My unexpected reading journey.
May,
Journey.
may unexpected reading journey. Okay. Wait,
Yes.
unahin ko muna si Erica as test picker and then evaluate natin, tapos ikaw naman, Armel, evaluate namin ni Erica yung sa'yo.
Okay.
Okay, and then after nito, so quick lang naman tayo. Okay? Aha. Mhm. Okay. To deliver a level 2 speech project entitled My Unexpected Reading Journey, let us all welcome Erica.
I did not know that one random visit to a bookstore will open a different world to me. It was the year 2015 when I started reading fictional books. One day, while I am scrolling in the book sale at SM Marilao, a thick book with colored brown with a big font of the author's name.
Mhm.
I became curious and I bought it. I read it for 5 days. And from that moment, I craved to read more. That book was The Da Vinci Code by Dan Brown. Believe it or not, even though this thick book, the whole story happens in just one day. Dan Brown is such a brilliant author. I was amazed by how he mixes reality and fiction. The story revolves around the idea that Jesus Christ didn't die, but he had a descendant. It was thrilling how he connected real symbols and his story with imagination. I did not stop there. I explored other genres, such as The Alchemist, where it talked about dreams and journey. The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, where it about making life choices. I like how each of them left something in me. And I know you too, you also feel the same when you read books or something that you want to explore. The development of the characters, the author's writing style, and the moral of the story. And even it widens my vocabulary. I can't believe that there are words such as flabbergasted, jesting, clandestine, and oh wait, I haven't yet introduced my favorite author. Among all the authors I've read, uh, there's one stories who touched my heart. And these are the physical books that I have.
Mhm.
Actually, his popular one is the Tuesday with Morris. It was written by Mitch Albom. It is about a student who visits his dying professor every Tuesday to talk about life. The professor asked him to write a eulogy for him, not after he dies, but while he's still alive. The, it is a story that reminds us how precious time and how important it is to cherish the people that we love. And of course, my favorite is The Timekeeper. Actually, I don't have that physical books, only ebook. It is a story of three people: the father of time, a lonely woman who wants to end her life, and a rich man who wants to live forever. The father of time was punished to create the first clock. But the curse is forced to listen to the cries of people begging for more time. But one day, he was given a mission to help the woman and the rich man to realize what would happen if they continue to chase and waste time. If you compare both stories, they share the same heartbeat. They both remind us about time. Time that never waits, and the clock will always turn clockwise. When I first read those books, I was just a teenager. Back then, I didn't care about time. All I wanted was to finish school, to graduate, and I assume finally have some rest. It was a routine until one day I looked back and realized everything around me had changed. My parents, siblings, and the place I used to on, they all look different. The hands that once brushed my hair every morning are now smaller than mine, and the room once filled with laughter and noise now feels quiet and distant. Maybe that's why Mitch album stories hit me differently. They remind me that time never stops for anyone. But stories, they allow us to pause and they let us hold onto the people, places, and memories that shape who we are. How about you, fellow Toastmasters? Who is your favorite author and what the story that resonates within you? Back to you, Sir DTM March.
Thank you, Erica. You'll be evaluated later after the recording. So not to preempt the practice for evaluation of Rose and President Mar. All right. Thank you once again for sharing your experiences about those books that you have read. Now let's move forward to our next speaker. She will be delivering a speech, a humorous speech, a humorous speech piece, in fact, regarding marriage. So the title of her speech is "Marriage is an Eye Opener." Is that correct, Armel?
Love is blind, marriage is the eye opener.
Love is blind, marriage is the eye opener. Okay. To deliver her speech as practice for the humor speech contest, let us welcome here on stage Toastmaster Armel.
Love is blind, and marriage is the eye opener. A hilarious and relatable duo that will keep you laughing, crying, and rolling your eyes in equal measure. The idea that love is blind suggests that when you are head over heels in love, you are unaware of the flaws and quirks of your partner. You are too busy seeing the rainbow, the unicorns, to notice the little things that might drive you crazy later on. And that is very obvious in the honeymoon stage of your married life. Marriage, on the other hand, is the eye opener because it brings clarity, reality, and a healthy dose of humor. Fellow Toastmasters and friends who are married, good day. How are you feeling today? Are you happy? I mean, are you really happy being in this crazy, messy, and oftentimes silly thing called love? To those who are single and searching, congratulations and good luck. My husband often teases me that ours was a shotgun wedding. At first, I didn't quite understand what he meant. But when he reminded me how things actually happened, well, he might have a point. Back then, we didn't have a proper wedding proposal. What we had was my father saying, Alex, next week, bring your parents so we can talk about wedding. What? Our wedding? Seriously? And on December 6, 1997, we got married at St. Francis of Assisi in May, Hawaiian. He was 27 and I was 26. He was my tall, dark, and handsome partner in my Love is Blind era. Life was challenging because I had to adjust to the married life, learn to cook, do the laundry, and even share my bed with someone who snores like thunder, and so much more adjustments. When our first child was born, our time for each other has grown apart because we are so focused on the baby. And when both of you become parents, your sleep is a distant memory. And I love you means, please watch the baby when I shower. Wait a minute. This is so unfair. We both have to work early, but why am I the only one who's taking off the baby while he is snoring away? So while making the bottle, I purposely shook it and splashed the milk all over his face to wake him up. Oops, sorry. Love is blind and marriage is the eye opener. I'm proud of my husband because he is a genuine Ilocano. By that I mean he is a wise spender. He loves to save while I used to. Why I love to spend. That was before until I finally learned how to budget. After 2 years of marriage, we were able to buy our own house. Even now, I can still remember or believe how we managed to survive of the expenses. The baby needs, the house bills, our helper, daily costs, and so much more. And after 6 years, another baby came. And this time, my husband decided to work abroad to provide for our family's needs. And because of the situation, I became more independent. I had to be strong for our two kids, for the urgent decisions, so that I can meet all the demands of being both mom and dad at the same time. While he was working abroad, I continued working too until he finally decided to come back home and work here in the Philippines instead. And fast forward today, our eldest is 26 years old and youngest is 20. Time flies so fast. We are now 27 years together by choice. Amazing, right? I even checked our marriage certificate. Ooh, and there's no expiration date. Have you checked yours too? Yeah, I think there's no expiration date either. Congratulations, because we are the survivors. Love is blind. Marriage is the eye opener. A hilarious and relatable combo that will keep you laughing, crying, and rolling your eyes in equal measure. And I'm starting to think that my optometrist was right. You don't need glasses, you need to adjust to your expectations. Contest chair.
Thank you for that speech, Armel. Fellow Toastmasters, and especially our contestants for the evaluation, please send your evaluation, whether written or verbal or video recording, to Erica and Armel. Good job. Bye-bye. Okay, so wait lang. Itatanggal ko na yung recording. Ayan.